Hey story lovers. If you're into mystery, suspense, and unexpected twists, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe, relax, and let's dive into today's story. Isla Whitmore's world was made of marble floors and million-dollar chandeliers. Every inch of her life gleamed with privilege, designer dresses, luxury cars, and the kind of influence most people couldn't dream of. But beneath the shimmering facade was a girl drowning in loneliness, aching for something real. At the Whitmore Foundation Gala, held at her father's five-star hotel in Manhattan, Isla drifted through a sea of tuxedos and fake smiles. Bored and disconnected, she slipped away from the main ballroom, finding a moment's peace near the staff entrance, where she met Elias. He was just a waiter. No one important, according to the world she lived in. But when her heel caught on the rug and she stumbled, Elias was the only one who noticed, and caught her arm before she fell. "You okay?" he asked, steadying her. She looked up and smiled. "You saved me." He smiled back, not the polished kind she was used to, but something quiet and genuine. "Just doing my job." Most people looked at her like a crown, not a person. But Elias spoke to her like she was someone worth knowing, not someone to impress. That caught her attention. Later that night, while he was on break, they crossed paths again. She offered him a glass of water. He hesitated, surprised. "You know, you're not what I expected," she said. He raised an eyebrow. "What did you expect?" "I don't know, a waiter who didn't make me want to talk to him," she teased. They laughed. And before she left, she scribbled her number on a folded napkin and pressed it into his hand. The messages started the next day. Then secret meetups. Coffee in quiet corners of the city. Long walks, hands brushing, heartbeats racing. She told him things she'd never said out loud. He showed her the world outside the velvet rope. And somewhere between those late-night phone calls and the way he listened so closely, she fell for him. Their bubble didn't last long. One blurry photo changed everything. A paparazzo caught them kissing beneath a streetlight. The picture hit the tabloids the next day. Heiress Isla Whitmore spotted with mystery man, not who you'd expect. It took Gregory Whitmore less than 6 hours to identify Elias and erase him from her life. "You're a Whitmore," Gregory roared when Isla confronted him. "You don't date staff. You marry assets." "He's not a project. He's not a scandal. He's someone who makes me feel alive." But Gregory wasn't interested in feelings. He made a call, and by morning, Elias was fired from the hotel. His mother's health insurance, tied to his job, was cancelled. His name quietly circulated to other employers in the industry. None would touch him. Isla was locked down. Her phone replaced, her credit cards disabled, her social media access revoked. She became a prisoner in her penthouse. Desperate, she managed to sneak one final message to Elias through a mutual friend. "I love you. But they're watching me. Don't try to reach out. Not now." Elias read the words over and over, heartbreaking with every syllable. He wanted to fight. But how do you fight a billionaire? He watched as Isla disappeared from his life, her smile now only a memory. Isla was sent to Europe under the guise of studying at a fashion institute in Milan. But it wasn't education, it was exile. Her father tried to erase the story with carefully curated paparazzi shots, Isla laughing with aristocrats, sipping wine at film premieres, dressed in couture. The public believed she'd moved on. But behind those pictures was a girl who stared at her phone every night, hoping for a message she'd never get. Elias moved to a small town upstate. He found work in a local diner, saved what he could, and helped his mother recover. The pace was slower, the world smaller, but the ache in his chest remained. At night, he watched Isla's public transformation through quiet internet searches. And one day, something changed. Isla had returned to social media. But not as the glamorous heiress. She posted about inequality. About power. About the masks she'd worn and the love she'd lost. She didn't name him, but Elias knew. Her courage struck something deep inside him. She filed a lawsuit against her father. Fought for control over her trust. And won. Her first act? To build something real. 2 years later, Isla returned to New York, not in the backseat of a limousine, but in jeans and a black blazer, holding a press conference outside a modest brick building in Brooklyn. She'd founded, ground up, a non-profit tech incubator for underserved youth. It was her way of giving others the opportunities she'd once taken for granted, and honoring the person who opened her eyes. "I used to think love and success couldn't coexist," she told the crowd that day. "But the truth is, real love is what shows you what success should look like." Elias watched the live stream from his small apartment, heart pounding. He didn't know if she still thought of him. But she had never really left his heart. A week later, a catering company he freelanced for landed a last-minute gig, Isla's incubator Gala. He hesitated. Then he said yes. That night, as he stood near the dessert table arranging mini cheesecakes, she walked in. Their eyes met across the room. She paused. Then smiled. "You came," she said. "I had to see it for myself," he replied. They stood quietly, the buzz of the gala fading into the background. "Still think a waiter isn't good enough?" he teased gently. She reached out, took his hand. "No," she whispered. "I think he was the best thing that ever happened to me." And this time, nothing stood in their way.